Why Panama for an ease of doing business? Ironically, our perception, most of the perceptions here in the room, is that Panama is way west. The heading on your plane, if you leave the airport, is due south. Due south. Half the country of Panama is further east than where you're sitting right now. Same time zone. Makes a big difference, especially when you're calling home at night. Doing business makes a big, big difference. Any other part of the world, you've got different time zones. From a quality of life perspective, that will affect your quality of life, good, bad, or different. The US dollar, the US dollar is their currency. Technically, it's a Balboa. They don't print their currency. The US dollar is their currency. There's no exchange rate. You go to Costa Rica, go to Honduras, go to Guatemala, go to anywhere else, there's an exchange rate. Every penny in your pocket, every dollar bill in your pocket, every $10 bill in your pocket, that's what you use to buy food, drinks. There's no exchange rate, none. Almost everyone there speaks English. I've learned to speak Spanish since then, just out of respect for their country. If I go there, I want to speak their language. If they come here, I'll expect them to speak my language. But that was just out of respect, not because I had to. But everybody there speaks English. The English influence, I'm fortunate that I travel all over the world. Panama, in my opinion, is one of the most American-friendly countries I've ever visited in the entire world. Mainly because our military presence has been there for such a long time. People forget the Panama Canal was not built in 1914 for pleasure. The canal was built so we could get our military to the Asian Pacific markets as quickly as possible. It was for purely military defensive matters. It was not for business. As it turned out, it's been a huge, huge business. And like Max said earlier, this expansion, which was supposed to be done in 2014 to celebrate, ironically, the 100th anniversary of the opening of the canal, they're going to miss it by probably a year, year and a half. Which, it's Latin time. That's actually pretty good. so I wasn't expected to be done even later than that. But the people there are friendly, sophisticated, educated. Almost every person there in a political situation. The current president graduated from the University of Arkansas. The prior president graduated from Texas A&M. My three partners are NYU, University of Tennessee, and Georgia Tech. They're all U.S. educated for the most part. So their families are similar to your families, and there's so much in common. It's amazing. And getting back to what Max said earlier, this is a real-life situation, a real testimonial. We had no idea that the economy was going to fall off the ledge. I don't think anybody did, as bad as it did. It has taken so long to get out, which is inexcusable. But my point is, there were 22 to 24 months that our single largest check, really our only significant check, that kept our company together, that kept the core people together to pay their bills, to feed their family, came out of Panama. If I did not have a global presence, if I had not expanded globally beyond Bonita Springs, or Estero, or Fort Myers, or Naples, I would have had to lay an enormous amount of people off. We were one of the few companies that not only survived, but we actually did okay in spite of the economy. But the reason is because we expanded globally. I'll never forget, from a global perspective, one of our first major projects was the Caterpillar facility in Panama. 250-acre facility, Caterpillar Global out of Peoria, Illinois. It was our biggest project, one of our biggest projects. Ironically, sitting here in our backyard, and as Christine will tell you, we have one of the assets that nobody else can claim. We have the highest concentration of retired CEOs of anywhere in the world. In the world. The intellectual capital is second to none. It is unbelievable. What's sitting at the bar in here? What's playing golf out here on the golf course? You don't even know it. The retired chairman at Caterpillar happens to have a condo in Bay Colony. Guess how I ended up building a 250-acre project in Panama? And I asked him for some words of wisdom. I said, how is Caterpillar excelling on the international stage when John Deere and other companies are not? He said two reasons. When he chaired Caterpillar, he did two things. He drew a line in the sand with the unions and said, no more. You're not going to cannibalize this company. Number two, he went global. And his comment to me was very profound. He said, look, show me a company that's highly unionized, that's domestic, and I'll show you a company that is either dying or stagnant. Show me a company that's not highly unionized, that is international, And I'll show you a company that's growing.